Assalamu alaikum. Welcome you all to this online class. So hello students, how are you? Hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to discuss the second part of female reproductive system. First topic is ovarian cycle. What is ovarian cycle? It is the monthly cyclical changes in the ovary that occurs in response to hormonal stimulus is termed as ovarian cycle. You know that ovary is a female gonad, and gonadotropic hormone that is secreted from the antipituitary act on ovum, on ovary, follicle stimulating hormone that causes maturation of follicles, and luteinizing hormone cause ovulation, and there are some changes occurs because of these hormones. So the changes, hormonal changes in monthly cycle is termed as ovarian cycle. What are the phases of ovarian cycle? There are two phases of ovarian cycle, that is follicular phase and luteal phase. This is a figure showing the growing follicles up to then this is ovulation, and this portion is up to ovulation is called follicular phase, and after ovulation the corpus luteum is formed, and this portion is called luteal phase. Now ovarian cycle, first phase is follicular phase. About every 28 days, gonadotropic hormones, that is follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, causes primordial follicles, that is 8 to 12, to grow in the ovary. Only one of these growing follicles becomes fully matured and ovulates at 14th day of 28-day cycle. During growth, mainly estrogen is secreted. The second phase is luteal phase. After ovulation, the remaining granulosa cells and the thicker cells change to corpus luteum. The granulosa cell secretes both progesterone and estrogen, and the thicker cell secretes androgens. After another 2 weeks, or if fertilization does not occur, the corpus luteum degenerates to form corpus albicans, and over months it is absorbed. Estrogen and progesterone level falls, and menstruation then begins. And then a new ovarian cycle then follows. This is the figure showing the different levels of hormones, that estrogen and progesterone levels, and the lower curve shows the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. And these are the days. The horizontal line shows the days of menstrual cycle. You can see that here the from 0 to 14 days, follicle stimulating hormone level is high. Under the stimulation of the follicle stimulating hormone, follicles begins to grow. So estrogen and follicle, from the Graafian follicle, estrogen is secreted. So estrogen level is high in the upper curve, and then you can see in the 14th day, just before 14th day, luteal hormone, the luteinizing hormone secretion is increases high, and then ovulation occurs at 14 days. After this ovulation occurs, and then corpus luteum is formed. Then from corpus luteum we know that progesterone hormone is secreted. So the upper curve shows the blue curve, progesterone level is high, then estrogen level is lower than the progesterone level. This figure also shows the correlation with the endometrial cycles with the hormonal levels. Now some points about ovarian cycle. No new ova are formed after birth. When a female child is born, each ovum is surrounded by a single layer of granulosa cells. The ovum with its granulosa cell sheath is called a primordial follicle. Granulosa cells are believed to provide nourishment to the ovum and to secrete an oocyte maturation inhibitory factor that keep the ovum suspended in the primordial state in the prophase stages of mitotic division. Fetal ovaries contain about 7 million of primordial follicles. At birth, there are only 2 million, and 50% of these are available. There are 2 stages of mated division, but only one survives as mature ovum. Now, there is what is ovulation and follicle? What are the follicular phase? Ovulation, that is follicle swells and rupture. Secondary oocyte is released from the ovary, and second meiotic division completed when the secondary oocytes unite with the sperm to form zygote. And the fate of follicle, that is Graafian follicles become corpus luteum. If fertilization occurs, then corpus luteum persists. If no fertilization, then corpus albicans formed. Then what is the fate of a ovum? It is frequently asked in Viva question that what is the fate of ovum? The answer is fertilized to form a zygote, or if not fertilized, then become a component of menstrual blood. Now ovulation. What is ovulation? It is the process by which the matured follicle ruptured and the ovum surrounded by cumulus ovulus cell is extruded from the ovary into the peritoneal cavity. It occurs 14 days after the onset of menstruation in a woman who has a normal cycle of 28 days. But in generally in other cases, when the cycle is not in 28 days, in that case we can say it may occur 14 days plus minus 2 days before the onset of next menstruation. Now we are going to discuss the mechanism of ovulation. The rate of luteinizing hormone secretion is increased about 2 days before ovulation and reached to the peak level about 16 hours before ovulation, that is called LH surge. Follicular stimulating hormone secretion is also increased. So follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone act synergistically to cause rapid swelling of the mature follicles, and then luteinizing hormone convert the granulosa cells and the theca cells to progesterone secreting cells, and progesterone secretion is increased, and then is insulin, then estrogen secretion is decreased. In the flow chart you can see luteinizing hormone on ovarian follicle to secrete progesterone, and this progesterone act by proteolytic enzymes that weaken the follicular walls, and this that causes follicular swelling and degenerating stigma is formed. On the other hand, follicular hyperemia occurs, and then prostaglandin is secreted from here, and then plasma transudation on the follicle occurs. So the follicle becomes swell, and so degenerating stigma and follicular swelling, both these causes follicular rupture, and then eventually ovulation occurs. Then now what is LH surge? Just before ovulation, estrogen causes positive feedback action on luteinizing hormone secretion, and a high concentration of estrogen stimulate pituitary burst of luteinizing hormone secretion. This is called LH surge. About 2 days before ovulation, LH secretion increases about 6 to 10 folds, peaking about 16 hours before ovulation. So follicular stimulating hormone also increases on the other hand 2 to 3 folds. These follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone act synergistically to cause rapid swelling of the follicle during the last few days before ovulation. Therefore, the rate of secretion of estrogen begin to fall another 1 day before ovulation, while increasing amount of progesterone begins to secrete. And all these effects although these effects causes rapid growing of the follicle, diminished estrogen secretion after a prolonged phase of excessive estrogen secretion, and initiation of secretion of progesterone, and thus ovulation occurs. Without the initial pre-ovulatory surge of LH, ovulation does not occur. So this is the figure again we are showing, because this is the luteinizing hormone that is peaking just before ovulation, and this is after this LH surge, ovulation take place, and then progesterone secretion increases and estrogen secretion decreases. Now what is corpus luteum? After ovulation, the remaining granulosa cells and theca cells changes and become lutein cells, and it is a temporary endocrine gland. There are two types of corpus luteum, that is corpus luteum of menstruation and corpus luteum of pregnancy. Corpus luteum of menstruation is that if fertilization does not occur after 2 weeks, that is 26th day of female sexual cycle, 2 days before menstruation begins, degenerate to a fibrotic mass, that is corpus albicans. This is called corpus luteum of menstruation or false corpus luteum. Now corpus luteum of pregnancy. If oocyte is fertilized, corpus luteum persists for about up to 12 weeks of gestation, that is 3rd to 4th month, until placenta is fully matured, then it is degenerates. It is called corpus luteum of menstruation, pregnancy or true corpus luteum. Its degeneration is prevented by human chorionic gonadotropic hormone that is formed from the trophoblastic cells. Now the regulation of ovarian function. Ovarian function is mainly regulated by the gonadotropin releasing hormone that is secreted from the hypothalamus. It acts on anterior pituitary to secrete follicular-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, and these two hormones act on ovary to secrete the hormones estrogen, progesterone and inhibin hormones, and thus inhibin secreted from the granulosa cell. It sends a negative signal to the anterior pituitary. On the other hand, estrogen that is secreted from the theca interna cells, this sends negative impulse to the anterior pituitary and as well as to the hypothalamus. Now, what are the determinant of ovulation? A rise in basal body temperature, that is morning temperature rises 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius caused by the progesterone, slight lower abdominal pain, ovulation bleeding or discharge, a sharp rise in progesterone level, and secretory pattern of the endometrial biopsy. Now, what is an ovulatory cycle? Ovulation fails to occur during sexual cycle when pre-ovulatory surge of LH is not sufficient. In that case, no ovum is released from the ovary, no corpus luteum is formed, no or little effect of progesterone, estrogen continue to cause growth. It is common for the first 14th to 18th month after menarche and just before the onset of menopause. So student, that's all of my today's lecture. Thanks for watching.